Hope y'all had a wonderful week. It's only Monday, but we are here. Oh, our girls were a mess today. So, are we live? I think we are. Yay, perfect. Okay. I panicked for a second because it said we were going live at 5:30, and I was like, it's not 5:30, it's 7:30. Uh, but here we are. Okay, ladies, we are talking all about time management, priority management, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're on tonight. So if you are newer, we have about 5 topics that we rotate through in this 7:30 time. So these are like business basics that we talk about. And you can stay here as long as you want, I'm sure. So myself and Maureen and Marion, and then our future directors as well, we rotate through teaching these times or this time. And so even if you catch time management with me this time, last time it was with Marion. So you'll definitely catch different things from each of us. So, but let's get going. Okay, so if someone deposited, hi Amy, if someone deposited $1,440 into your bank account every day, how would you spend it? What would you do? This is the real question. You can answer. Some of you may know where I'm going with this. What would you do? You can type it in the chat if you don't want to unmute. Every day, you got $1,440 in your bank account. What would you do? It's a lot of money to be deposited daily. So I can see some of y'all are typing. So we'll get those answers. Now, I didn't tell you this part, and this may change your answer. It's okay. You can keep going with your first answer. But what if that go on a shopping spree, book a trip, pay off debt? Yes, 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 Amy, all the things, all the things. I love to travel. So you get that money deposited, but here's the kicker. You cannot save it and you cannot bank it. At the end of every day, your bank account is wiped clean. The next day it's deposited again, but you don't get to carry over the money from the day before. How much more diligently would we spend every single dollar and make sure every dollar was accounted for, right? Like, we don't want to waste $1,400, right? Like, we want it to go where we want it to go, right? So 1,440 is the number of minutes in one day. One day, every day, we are given 1,440 minutes. We are all given those same 1,440 minutes. It's just a matter of what we do with them and how we spend them. So that's what we get to talk about in this time right here. So, if you have your phone easily accessible, y'all, I cannot tell you if you don't have an iPhone. I don't know where this setting is. If you don't have an iPhone, maybe you can chime in and tell me. But if you have an iPhone, I want you to grab it real quick. And even if you're on Zoom on your iPhone, you can actually swipe up and you will stay on Zoom here. But go over to your settings. And I want you to click screen time. So it's in, I don't know if I can see my phone, but it looks like that right there, the little purple hourglass thing. So this button right here
I don't have an iPhone.
is like, I have a love-hate relationship with it. Right? Because yeah. So when you look at it, it tells you how much time you've spent looking at your phone. Now, some of our business is, oh, did you find it? Okay, I'm asking you to unmute Cheryl. Cheryl does not have an iPhone. So if you don't have an iPhone,
It is on the digital well-being underneath your settings. So it's like you go to your settings and then you scroll down towards the bottom and there's a digital well-being and parental controls.
Thank you. Thanks, Cheryl. So when you click that, it tells you how long you've spent on your phone. Now, we run our business from our phone, right? So take this with a grain of salt, but some things you can look at are how much time so you can see all your app and website activities. So you can see how much time you spent on each app. Okay. If you're spending over an hour on Facebook, and I may or may not be talking to myself, we can change that, right? Like there's no reason you should be spending an hour on Facebook, even with your business. Okay, daily. So I show you this not to make you feel guilty, not to make you feel any sort of way, right? But knowledge is power. And when we know what we're doing with our time, we can change it if we don't like it. Right? We can change it if we don't like it. So if you pull up that sheet and you're like, holy smokes, I did not realize I spent that much time scrolling. Right now we can do something about it. You can set limits on there. Y'all, those limits don't do much for me. I'm like, oh, just add 15 more minutes. So we have to be diligent with our time. So here we go. Here is how I manage my time. Number one is every Sunday I brain dump. Every Sunday I brain dump. Sunday is like my reset day. So I don't work on Sunday, typically. I did have a vendor event yesterday, but most Sundays I don't work. And so Sunday is like my reset day. So I sit down and I brain dump. And if you don't know what brain dump is, you are literally getting everything from your brain that like you have to do this week onto a piece of paper. If you are a planner person, the Soul Planner has it for you. And I believe they're 60% off right now because it's already halfway through the year. But this is the Soul Planner, and it has a brain dump page for you right here, where you just dump everything that needs to get done that week. And so some weeks it's pretty short, and some weeks I fill the whole list on Sunday. But this is just to get y'all, if we're constantly having to remember, and there's science to back this up. We don't have enough time to go into it in this 30 minutes. But if you're constantly having to remember what you have to do, that's taking away like your creativity from your brain and that other effort that could be put somewhere else. And so just dump it on that list, and that's the list you're going to work from this week. Okay. So every Sunday I dump it right there. Then as soon as I dump it, I do my weekly plan sheet. And I know if you have been in Mary Kay any amount of time, you've probably heard this. So your weekly plan sheet is where you take your calendar that looks something like this. And if you're not a planner person, y'all, there's a printable version on InTouch that you can print out or your director can send you. But basically it's just a week at a glance. So just like that. Do I need to spotlight myself so y'all can see it bigger? Would that be helpful? Maybe. I saw somebody nod their head, so I'm going to spotlight. So looks just like this, and it has your timings over here. So mine is 30-minute increments. And so on Sunday, I sit down and I block everything out. So if it is a Mary Kay income producing activity, I'm writing it in green because green is money making, right? Okay. If it's a Mary Kay activity that is not income producing, so this time right here, this time is absolutely beneficial to your business. I can tell a difference in my business when I'm here and when I'm not here. And so here, pink is like Mary Kay, but not really income producing, right? Like you're not getting paid directly for being on here tonight. Then my family stuff goes in purple. So that is like, let me clarify. Family stuff that's like obligations. So like my girls' dance practice or doctor's appointments, or like those are obligation things. My family time, where we are spending quality time together, goes in blue. So I separate those two things because it could look like we're spending a lot of family time together, but our family time is going to dance practice where they are with someone else. Like, right? Like we want to separate those two. And then yellow is like your quiet time, okay? Or your church time or that kind of stuff. So I sit down on Sunday night and I block it all out. So I knew that Saturday morning was going to be our best bet for family time this week. So I blocked out all this time. Nothing is being booked in this time. I blocked out quiet time every morning. I blocked out my time that I'm at church. I blocked out Monday night because so it's pink down here. But then, oh, this was last week. So I had an appointment after our meeting Monday night. So I put green down here, right? And if it's like, okay, I see how much time I've got blocked off for Mary Kay, like I see how many appointments I've got on my books, I really need to work more to get where I want to be. I'll just block off green time. So last week, this whole section of time right here was income producing activities. So it was either I was booking more appointments in that time, or if I didn't get any more appointments booked, I was going to spend that time to book appointments, right? Like I knew I needed more income producing activity time. So I sit down on Sunday night and I block all of this out. Now, I know that my life is not going to always go exactly like this, right? Like if you have kids or family you're in charge of or whatever, right? Like elderly parents, things are going to happen, right? Or even if it's just you, things are going to happen. You may get sick, whatever, insert whatever happens wherever. But at least I know if I get sick on this day, I can easily tell where I can shift things and I can easily tell what needs to go where. Okay. So there is that part of the puzzle. So from there, after I've blocked off all of my time, I flip back over to my dump list. Okay. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, what are my priorities? So in high school, the place I worked, he would always give us a to-do list for the week and he would prioritize them all, right? Like he'd make the list and then he'd number them out to the side. And so my stuff to this day still looks kind of like that because it kind of reminds me that like in the evening, I'm the CEO, right? Like I am my business owner. I get to make the decisions. But in the morning, it's my time to be the employee. And I have to do the to-do list, right? Like I have to be disciplined just like it's my old boss making that to-do list. Okay. So after I prioritize them, I come back over here. And this is all within my planner, but y'all can totally do this just on like your plan sheet that you print out every week. Like that would be an easy spot to do that. But up above, I have my 6 most important things list. And I know y'all have heard Mary Kay talk about this, and just people within Mary Kay. But I will make my 6 most important things list the night before, except I go ahead and look at my top 3 priorities for that week. So whatever my top 3 priorities are, I go ahead and assign them a time. So absolutely, I would love to get them done earlier in the week, right? Like that just makes things go smoother. But like for instance, this week, I knew on this Thursday, I had a big chunk of time that I could get something done. And so I put one of my priorities on Thursday because I could get it done in that chunk of time. So go ahead and assign those top 3 priorities to a specific day. And then come back that night before. So Sunday night, you're going to write your 6 most important things for Monday. And then Monday night, before you go to bed or before you finish your work for that day, you're going to write your 6 most important things for Tuesday. Okay. And if y'all like, I forgot to say this, but if your business is like super part-time, right? Like maybe you don't have 6 Mary Kay things, right? Like this is my full-time job. So I have 6 Mary Kay things to do every single day, right? Because I put in the hours for full time. But if you have another job you're working during the day and this is like your side hustle, whatever, maybe you only do 3, right? Or maybe you do 4. It kind of depends on your goals too, right? Because if you have bigger goals, you may have to put a few more things on the to-do list. So do y'all have questions? I know that was kind of a lot. Do y'all have questions over like your weekly plan sheet and how to plug things into specific times. Keep thinking. If y'all have questions over that, you can put them in the chat if you don't want to unmute, or you can totally unmute and ask things. Did you have a question, Sarah?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm new to this Mary Kay stuff, and I do work. I work 40 hours a week, 5 days a week. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like, sorry, I'm totally out of the loop with things right now.
You're good.
My girl, my brother and his fiance, soon to be wife, had just had a baby, you know, back. So my uncle had a surgery, you know what I mean, and then he had to go back in. So I've been trying to catch here and there the new stuff. I'm just, and I want to be like really into it and struggling into it, but I don't know,
Yeah.
it's like me, you know what I mean? And I'm a mom and a daughter, you know, to my parents. So I'm
Right.
just
So there are lots of people that work full-time jobs. There are lots of people that work full-time jobs and do Mary Kay. So what that weekly plan sheet looks like for you is like, if you're planning it for Mary Kay, you're literally going to mark in gray the times that you're at your other job.
Okay.
Okay, you're just blocking that out because you right? Like you can't work Mary Kay at your other job unless you've got like a lunch break or something that you're going to try to fit some things in. Like you're going to block that out in gray. And that is super, super common to do that. Right.
And then I'm like my church life in, but there's like my work takes exhausted, like, you know, takes all my energy out.
Yeah.
Because I don't walk every day, so sorry.
Yeah.
Because I online grocery pickup and delivery. I don't deliver them, but I just pick the grocery.
Yeah.
So I'm just exhausted. I'm so tired right now, so
Yeah.
I was trying to just catch it too.
You're good.
But yeah, I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you'll block that time out. And then you will find, so yours will look a little different, right? Like you'll block that gray time out, and then you'll sit and look at it and be like, okay, when can I hold appointments? Right? Because appointments are the lifeline of your business. Y'all, you can work a Mary Kay business without them, but it's not going to be a growing business. Just being honest with you. Okay. So meeting new customers, right, is where it's at. And so if even being super consistent with one block of time a week, and I'm going to book as many people as possible for that one block of time. You'll meet, if you haven't already, Marian Forrest. She'll be on at 8. She was just super, super consistent with one Saturday a month. Now, she booked that Saturday a month full of appointments. Like she started at like 8:30 in the morning, I think, and finished at 7, and each appointment time was double booked. Like now like she booked it solid, but doing that, she actually earned her first car.
Oh, wow.
So the rest of the month was focused on booking people for that Saturday, and then she just held all of her appointments that one Saturday. And so you can totally work it how it works for you.
I really like communicating, and I'm just newer to it. My mom had a best friend that was in the Mary Kay thing, but that was in Washington, and I was when I was younger, so I remember that. But I'm not sure if she still does it, and I'm just trying to. I did esthetician schooling at Paul Mitchell in Washington State. I've been a single mom for a while now. Went through the court stuff to battle my daughter's custody, and I got my daughter the custody. So it's kind of like been challenging for me to get started. And I'm in a relationship right now, dating guy, and then working, time to spend family time, you know. And I used to be a teacher, so I'm just like I'm trying to figure out like my cliche and my, I guess, tribe or whatever we call it, thing I like to do.
Absolutely. And this plan sheet is meant to kind of help you figure that out, right? And it's meant to, and if you like have more questions, right? Like this is 30,000 foot view, right? But if you're like, talk to your director, like, I really need to look at this specifically for me. Like, I need us to walk through this. I know she'd be more than happy to like walk through this with you. Because it totally helps. And there are just to your story, Sarah, I know so many single moms that only do Mary Kay that have been able to like get rid of their other jobs and things and just do Mary Kay. And so it is totally possible, but we do have to put like, you know, you may have to shift priorities, right? Like
And
Mary
that's
Kay is
what
God first, family second, and career third, but sometimes that means, you know, I am going to get a babysitter for my child during this time, so that way I have more choices a year from now. And I can step away and I can work less at my other job or completely quit my other job, right? Like sometimes our priorities look like that as well.
yeah, and none of that's affecting my job. It's affecting my health. I think because I'm losing weight. I've lost like I don't know,
Yeah.
like I sad to say I lost almost 8 or 10 pounds from last time I got so like
Yeah. Yeah.
talk a lot. I just I'm trying to figure out balance, you know what I mean,
Right.
of how to do things. So I need the work to have the benefits, but I don't know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like hard and I want to make more extra income, but I have to I think it's choices I have to make
Yeah.
to
Absolutely. You've
stay
got
up.
to, yeah, you absolutely have to look at your priorities and look at where you want things to be. Um, you know, 6 months from now, a year from now, 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy, she was able to cut back her hours at her full-time job so she could work more Mary Kay. It's more life-giving. Yes, it is, ma'am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, ladies, we don't have much time, so I do want to finish with this, okay? So if so I know not everybody's a morning person, okay, but just bear with me. I'm not a morning person either, but I wake up early every morning, or most mornings. Um, so if you wake up 15 minutes earlier, so we're not talking an hour earlier, we're just talking about 15 minutes earlier. If you wake up 15 minutes earlier than you normally do, that gives you 1 hour and 45 minutes extra a week. So almost 2 hours extra of your time back. Now, if you were to wake up 15 minutes earlier and go to bed 15 minutes later, that gives you 3 hours and 30 minutes extra a week. Like, I did not do the math on how much time that is in a year, but that is significant. That is significant time that you get back in your life. And so what would that look like for you to wake up a little bit earlier or stay up just a smidge later and not just to scroll our phone like we looked at the beginning, right? But to do some productive stuff. You know, even if it's just staying up 15 minutes later to make your 6 most important things list. Right? Like that would be so helpful for you the next day and for me. Sometimes I forget to make my list. Cheryl, you barely get 6 hours of sleep as is. Oh, so, you know, where would that put you? You know, I am not a morning person. And so I had to get creative because I had all these like desires to wake up earlier and get that time back because I do find when I wake up a little earlier, y'all, it's like my time multiplies. I get so much done in the morning. Right? Like the kids are still asleep. There's like I can just knock stuff out, right? I see y'all nodding. Um what sleep, right? But I knock out so much more in the morning. But I was finding I was just hitting snooze, hitting snooze, hitting snooze, and then I'd be frustrated that I didn't wake up. And so I have started this Bible study time. It's not Bible study. We go through a Devo time in the morning at 5:45. And so I know I have to get up and I have to be on that. It's on Zoom, so I don't have to be like completely presentable. But that's something that I've put in the mornings to help make sure I get up earlier. And so what could you add to your mornings? What could you do to kind of get you out of the bed? Or maybe y'all don't have an issue with that and you wake up without an alarm clock. every morning at 5 a.m. That's only in my dreams. So man, okay. So there is your real quick, down and dirty time management. Y'all, if you will do, this is the last thing I'll say. I have gone through seasons of not doing my weekly plan sheet, and I have gone through seasons of doing it. And I can directly tell a difference when I do it and when I take time to sit down and look at my week before it actually happens. And some of you that may stress out because that is not your personality type to have a planner and to know what's happening. Right. But at the very least, doing a brain dump where you can see what all needs to be done that week. Brain dump and then picking out the 1 or 2 things in your Mary Kay business that have to be done the next day. And if you're only picking 1 or 2, at least 1 has to be an income producing activity. Y'all, I was the world's worst at, okay, I can pick 2 things. So 1 is going to be organize my office, and the other is going to be to clean my mirrors. Y'all, those are things that have to be done, but they are not things that make you money. So don't be like me. 1 thing has to be something that's going to bring you income. Right now, PCP just mailed, or it's in people's mailboxes. That's a great thing to follow up on. Call your customers, text them. Hey, I just paid for you to get the new summer catalog. Have you gotten it in your mailbox? And if you found the sample on page, I don't remember what page the sample's on. You know, what did you think about the sample? It's the new moisturizer. So that's a super fun sample for them to find. And even if you didn't mail PCP, you can still follow up with them and say, you know, send them the link to the catalog. Okay. So I know those were some extra tips there at the end. But I guess I should bring Maureen and Marion back. I'm going to kick them out of the breakout room. Any other last minute questions, concerns? Anybody need what you got, Sarah? Will you press perfect?
How do we get like, I know I like your planner that you have. Did you order it through Mary Kay or?
So it's not through Mary Kay. It's called the Soul Planner. I can put a link.
Soul Planner.
I should really get a commission on these planners. Let's just. Oh.
I did.
I can put a link in the chat. It is let's see. I was thinking, hang on, here they come.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey, it doesn't let you turn your video on if you haven't agreed that you understand that you're being live streamed. And I'm like, why won't it click? Am I clicking it right? And it's like, are you sure you know? Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Yes, if you needed that planner link, it's right there in the chat. Marion, I was just telling them that we should get a commission off of these planners.
Best planners ever. And get your planner now because it's like
half
on
price.
sale. And because it's on sale, if you get it now, then when September hits and she's got the new planner, everybody that's bought a planner before gets it at a special price.
Mm-hmm.
So like I haven't paid full price for several years because you get a special, like, hey, you're one of the soul sisters, so come on.
I'm not a soul sister, so I gotta change things up and do things different. So do whatever is best for you.
Maureen is a digital person, so if you're more of a digital person, talk to her.
Yeah, I don't think of myself as a digital person, but I don't do a planner, so it is what it is. Okay, so we are ready. Thank y'all so much for being on here. I am so excited to see everybody. Hey, Amy. Hey, Hannah Beach Myers, Rachel, Mary, Sandy, and Brandy, all the Andys. I think I said hi to everybody else. Yes, fabulous, fabulous. Okay, so we are going to start. I am so excited to tell you. It's the new director suit has arrived, and she is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Like, I opened it and I was like, I forgot how gorgeous it is. It
Can we
is.
put them on real quick? Are y'all's
What?
easily accessible? Can we like throw them on real quick?
Oh, us on our person? Absolutely not. No,
Yeah.
because we cannot wear them until seminar.
We're not wearing it. We're
We're
trying
not
it
wearing
on.
it. We're trying
Absolutely
it on.
not. Absolutely not. The people that went backstage at leadership tried them on. They saw them on. They have seen them live. Everyone else gets to see a digital representation, and that's okay. Let me tell you what it is. She is gorgeous, and she looks straight up Barbie. I opened it and was like, oh, absolutely yes. And since I've seen it, I realized two things. Number one, I realized every time I saw us walking out on stage as a national area, because it will be this suit. When you see it, it will be this suit because we keep the suit for 2 years. And we will be debuting in June of 2025. I realized I always saw myself in that suit, debuting on that stage. And I'm like, well, that ain't right, because I'm going to be in the national suit. So now I got to figure out what the national suit is. I don't even know what that one is, but I can see y'all ever so
Black, and it
clearly.
looks like it's got diamonds all in it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Where
amazing.
you been?
I have no idea. I've been in the pink suit. That's where I've been. So number one is I realized that I had always seen, hey, Maria, hey, Mary Cash Rose and Crystal. Yay. I realized that I always saw myself in the pink suit with y'all, which that doesn't work. And then the second thing, whenever I saw my suit when it came in, I was like, okay. It's what I feel. I realized that even though it is not as practical, Martins may need to be white. They may need to be white. We may not do the black. I'm still thinking, but the Doc Martens that we wear may need to be white with the laces. It may be really, really good. So very excited about that. It's going to be amazing. So close your eyes, see yourself sliding into that Barbie pink jacket, marching out on that stage with strength and power in your Doc Martens, feeling oh so comfortable and confident. It is done. So with that said, I want to welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being on here. We are so glad you're here. Okay. First thing is I'm going to pass it over to Miss Emily.
Yay! Well, I get the privilege of doing some recognition. So if you are new and are like, Emily, what are you talking about? So there's a link you fill out every single week. The sooner you fill it out, the better, because we almost missed some people this week because it was like coming in at the last minute. So make sure you get it filled out, but it just asks like how many bookings you had this on your calendar, how much you sold this past week. So here we go. We are celebrating these ladies for just taking the time and being disciplined to fill it out. And I want to say, even if your numbers are 0, there is something powerful about filling it out and typing the 0 and being like, I want it to be 0 next week. So make sure you fill it out, even if your numbers are 0. So here we go. We are celebrating Heather Peachin Myers, Crystal Fell, Cheryl Lucier Tolos, Maria and Beth Earlywine, Amy Huffmaster, and Melissa Runyon for filling out their form. Congratulations just for filling it out. We want to celebrate you for getting your stuff done. And then we had 4 bookings. Our queen of bookings this week was Melissa Runyon. She's got 7 bookings on her calendar. Yay! So bookings mean you have a time, a place, and a person that's going to experience Mary Kay products. Okay, time, place, and person that are going to experience. So it doesn't matter if they're experiencing them on a Zoom call with you or in person, but they are experiencing them. And next up for sales, we are just celebrating Maria and Beth Earlywine. $310 in sales. Congratulations, ladies. That is a star consultant week. And so when you do 300 at least weekly, you are on target to finish your star and to be on the cruise with us. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be so fun. Next up with sharing, with 2 sharing appointments. So this means they shared the business with somebody. This does not mean you talk about the business at an appointment unless they make a decision and sign up at the appointment. We can count them. But most people, when they are at an appointment to try skincare, they're not in a, I'm going to start a business mindset. They are in, I'm just here to try some products mindset. And so we want to take them outside of that to let them have that mindset on. So here we go. Our sharing queen this week was Maria and Beth Earlywine with 2 shares. Yay! Congratulations, ladies. Yay. Okay. And then I am passing it. Am I passing it, Maureen?
If you will begin that, then I will start I'm going to do the training and then we will continue with some reco.
Yes, perfect.
So if you can handle some details in the background, Emily, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what I am going to talk with you about is something that I did different. And what I did different was a different closing sheet. Now, I have done the same closing sheet for the last probably 1.5 years, and that is basically it's in thinking about a restaurant, it's a different menu. Like the same things are offered, but the layout is different to get different results. And the new close sheet, we're going to show it in just a second, but basically what it shows is more sets that make sense based on the initial appointment. Because most of my skincare appointments that I was holding was basically around, my profit was basically around $100, somewhere between $50 to $100. With this new close sheet, the profit is basically around $150 to $175 because it is not giving away as much product. So let's look at that, or giving it away at wholesale. So we have the close sheet right here, and I'm going to step through the close sheet with you. But before I do, I want to tell you that it is on boards. It is on boards, and you can find it there, and you can print it from there. So let's look at this close sheet. So I don't think y'all can see my cursor, but I think that's okay. Okay, so the first top row is the skincare sets. The first one is the Time Wise Repair set. The second one is the Miracle set. Now those, if you think about the sets that are offered, the price point is about $50 per set. Because of the price point of the repair set, it's $215. That would equal 4 sets. And it says it right there above the $215, counts as 4 sets. The Miracle set to the right is $116. So that counts as 2 sets. Okay. If they want to add in the eye cream, they can add in the eye cream, but it's not included in the number of sets. Now, to the right of that is the Skinvigorate brush. It does not say that it counts as a certain number of sets, therefore it counts as 1 set. It is a little bit higher than the $50 price point. And I will say that we will be tweaking this as soon as Mary Kay runs out of the Skinvigorate brushes. The vendor went to Mary Kay and was like, yeah, we're not going to be able to make these anymore. And Mary Kay was like, wait, what? And so then they instantly went to the discontinued list. And because the brush heads are already sold out, then I don't feel yes, it is $75, but they can't get replacement brush heads. And so I feel good about the fact that they can get that set with a little bit higher value because it doesn't really cost me anything. So I'm okay with that. So the next one is the Naturally set. That price point is $144, and that's going to count as 3 sets. The Clear Proof is a little bit higher than 50. That counts as 1 set. The new Mary Kay skincare set, those are 20 a piece, and you'll notice that it does not have the exfoliator in that set. And the reason it doesn't is to keep the price point at a reasonable place. So, the last set is the Microderm Abrasion Plus set. Okay. Those are those skincare sets before the Microderm. That is what is going to be mainly used at a skincare appointment. So when you have done the appointment, when you're closing them at the end, you're going to go over what pieces they use during the appointment according to this set. So you're going to start with the skincare and you're going to kind of give them a super quick summary. This is the one that you did here. This is what we did here. This is the skincare set that you used today. Then you're going to start with the supplements that they did that day. So that's going to be the Microdermabrasion at the end of the top row. And then we're going to come down to the second row. That's the multi-masking set. That's the charcoal mask and the moisture renewing gel mask. If they only use one, then you can talk about ways to use the opposite one in different places. For example, if their skin is combination to oily and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so super oily. You're like, you can do the multi-masking, you can do the moisture gel mask on your neck. You can do it on your décolleté. It will keep your décolleté from getting that crepey look where it has up and down lines on it. You can talk about different ways to be able to use the product. The next one is I Love It set. That's the oil-free eye makeup remover and the hydrogel eye patches. And those are so fabulous. Love them. The next one is the Revealing Radiance Facial Peel. That one is used when the repair set is demonstrated, and that one counts as 1 set. Now, they are getting a little bit more product there, but it all comes out in the wash. And then the Satin Hands, Satin Lips set. That is what we do at the very beginning of an appointment and at the very end of an appointment. And then there are 2 sets for quick, one's for quick color and one's for a little bit longer quick color. So it's a flawless face and then a dash out the door, but they're both pretty quick color. Okay, so those are the sets that, and I do not do the color at the appointment because what I found was people were loving the skincare. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It feels so good. And then I would do the CC cream and they were like, and that's what did it. That's what made it look so good. So then instead of making a $200 sale, I made a $22 sale. And I was like, yeah, we're going to do that different. And so I stopped using the CC cream or things like that and just stopped after the skincare. Or if you're like, no, I feel like I need to leave them in some kind of condition, then at the end, close them out, do the other half of their face, then do the CC cream or a dash out the door look. But you've already closed them out, so you've already done those transactions and the money's already in the appropriate places, and now they're experiencing it. So then they will add on to what they've already purchased. Okay, so now let's go to the bottom. Customize your collection. Here's where it makes a difference. For today's special, there are 3 different deals. It's the deal of the day. So you can take advantage of these deals. The I Deserve It All for $3.99. Choose any 8 sets and get it for $3.99. The Spa Night Queen is $2.99. Choose any 6 sets for $2.99. And the Spa Night Princess, $1.99. Choose any 4 sets for $1.99. So for example, the repair set in the upper left, that counts as 4 sets. So instead of them paying $2.15, they would only pay $1.99. So they would get a thank you for getting together with you. And that solidifies the relationship and helps them feel like you are their consultant, not you have a Mary Kay lady, but you are their consultant. So they get a little price break on that experience. Now, underneath that, this is a part that I very much like. Receive the travel roll-up bag free with the I Deserve It All. So whenever they get the $3.99 set, they get the travel roll-up bag free. When they choose the Queen set, that's 6, they get the travel roll-up bag for half price. When it's half price, you don't lose money, you don't make money. That one's a status quo. So I like that because with the lower sets, when you are giving away a travel roll-up bag, then it cuts more into your profits also. So this is the new this is the new set sheet that I used. I used it today and sold the I Deserve It All. And it is making the initial experience with higher price points. So can they buy just whatever the set is? Absolutely, of course, but they don't. So absolutely take advantage of this new format and this new layout and present it, and then let them decide whatever is best for them, because they know their finances better than you do. The rest of the appointment is the same. You still step through the 4 questions at the end. The first one is, did you have fun? Yes. Second one, if there were no price tags, what would you take home today? Most people say all of it. When they know exactly what the I Deserve It All is, they're like, I'm going to do that, because they know it's going to be $3.99, and then they just pick and choose. The third question is, for a second appointment, what would you like to enjoy? Would you like a color, where we work with glamour colors? Would you like a flawless face, or would you like a spa experience? Then they pick that. And then the fourth question is, I would love to get together with you and share a little bit more about Mary Kay and how we make our money, so that I can get my training, or so that I can earn my pearls, or so that I can gain the experience. Whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that is impassioning you toward that, then that's what you're going to say. And then those are the 4 questions that you ask. Okay, does anyone have any questions about this new close sheet? Very good. Okie doke. So now we are going to finish your recognition, and I am going to pass it off to the
Marion
beautiful
Forrest.
Marion Cast Rose.
Marion Forrest.
Marion
We had to
Forrest.
pivot. You're muted.
I know. So we're going to do some more recognition, and I'm so excited as we talk a little bit about who has already completed the SOAR challenge. We have 11 days left of the month. If you count today, we still have some time left, so we'll say 12 days left of the month. This is totally doable, y'all. This is the best time of the month right now because people are kind of slowing down in their life. The Mother's Day's over, school is kind of getting over. They're ready. They're ready to be pampered at this point. So our May SOAR achievers with that beautiful little bracelet, Melissa Mancini, Marian Cash Rose, Jennifer Conger. Yay! Okay. We also want to, we're going to just every week talk about y'all, Star Cruise. We are at add 12 days plus 15 days. We're a little less than 30 days away from our final Star Consultant quarter. And yes, you can, if you have nothing in, finish Star Consultant. Because honestly, y'all, June is when everybody buys Mary Kay. Everybody buys Mary Kay. We're at the end of our fiscal year. Everybody buys Mary Kay in June. And so I want to celebrate our stars, and just a reminder, put your next $100 deposit in, and make it worth it to Amanda Townsend, who is our, who's booking all of our stuff. Sapphire Stars, Becky Stewart, Cheryl Lucier Tullis, Ruby Stars, Melissa Runyon, Emily Lewis, Mary Kano, and Jennifer Conger. Yay. Diamond Star, me. Emerald Star, Caitlin Fusel, and Pearl Star, Maureen Ship, and Marian Cash Rose. Do I have any other events? Do you want me to go ahead and do this one, Emily? Okay, well, the last thing that we want to remind you of is that seminar registration is open. And I haven't shared about my experience with seminar, but I'm going to tell you guys my very first seminar. I started my business in August, so I did not go because back then it actually was in July. It's not so much anymore, but so I didn't go, obviously. But my first seminar year, I actually was pretty much ready to get out of Mary Kay, but I had already paid because we did it way earlier. Like we started paying, I feel like in March. We paid for our registration in March, and by May, June, I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. But I had already spent the money, so I went ahead and gone. And I will tell you, I am also a very good student because doing speech pathology, I always knew that continuing education was important. Here's the reality. Anything worth doing, continuing education is important. And this is the most stellar continuing education you could ever receive. Because it's not just where we're getting online and talking to each other, it's a whole experience. And so I went to that seminar thinking that I wasn't going to stay in Mary Kay, and God used incredible women that are still my friends today, Fortune 500 executives, and women that truly had it all and were doing it all. And they shared from their heart. And God used those women to put a little seed in my heart that said, I want you to love women through this business. I was ready to get out, you guys. And so I just want to encourage you. You will never be able to ever get any kind of business training or inspirational training or any of those things for that, what is it, $225 registration with some food, $250 registration, and you get food with it. Okay. You will never pay that, because if you go to any of these gurus in success, it's $5,000. And I promise you, the real women that are there, when you see all shapes and sizes, when you see all the things and you go, oh my gosh, I can do this too. It is worth it. It is absolutely worth it. And on top of that, it's like the best girlfriend weekend ever. So I just want to share, like 20 years later, if I had not gone there, I definitely would not be still doing this business. But the truth is that really God used it for so much more than just my business. It's helped me be a better wife, a better mom, a better friend, a better leader, because I was willing to make a sacrifice. And y'all, could I afford it? Absolutely not. We were paying way too much money for my husband to go to graduate school. And like we didn't have a whole lot of extra money, but I figured it out and I sold product to make myself be able to go. And so I just want to encourage you, it is absolutely worth it. So here are the women that are already registered. Way to go, ladies. Melissa Runyon, Cheryl Lucier Tullis, Emily Lewis, Maureen Ship, Marianne Forrest. Oh, that's me. Giovanna Solka, Mac, Jasmine Moore, Juanita Diego, Jennifer Conger, Heather Peacham Myers, Marion Cash Rose, Lindsay and Brock Breeding, and Marina Sanders. Way to go, ladies. It's not too late, so get yourself signed up.
Great job. Great job. When is the deadline? Anybody know? June the 30th. June the 30th. When is the deadline for star recognition for seminar? June the 15th, because that's the last day for star. Everything else ends June the 30th. And if you have not started earning your education badges, go ahead and get started on that, because some of them are a little bit longer. So go ahead and get started on earning your badges. Okay, does anyone have any questions about anything that we covered? Okay, then we are going to turn the live stream off and I'm going to try to do it myself. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Host, maybe. Nope, can't do it. Is that because I don't have the power?
It's because you're not host, but I just made you host.
Okay, hang on, I'm try again.